Good morning, everybody. I'm Robert Scheer, and this is your 6 AM Wake Up. There are people in recovery who are what we call literature zealots. Actually, unkindly, we sometimes call them literature Nazis. And what this means is they're so well versed in the literature that they can correct you or they can cite chapter and verse. I'm not one of them. I've read most of the quote-unquote approved literature, but I haven't studied it and I certainly haven't memorized it. But I do know that somewhere in the literature or somewhere in our recovery principles is a principle that says that the power of attraction is so much stronger than the power of persuasion. What it actually says is this is a program of attraction and not persuasion. And what that means is we're not going to tell people what to do. We're going to behave in a way that people might want to emulate. And this sounds like a simple construct, but I've seen it work so amazingly well that I've really come to subscribe to this principle as one of the most important in my life. And it plays out in so many ways. If you want your kids to act responsibly, then do the same yourself. When you say to them you're going to be somewhere, be there. If you want to teach your children to have good habits of health and exercise, then eat right yourself. Exercise regularly. You don't have to harangue them or lecture them on it. This principle has worked for me in so many ways, both in terms of the influence I think I've had on others, but also on the influence others have had on me. I remember once somebody saying in a meeting that whenever they went to the grocery store, they always returned the grocery cart. And that just stuck with me. And here, 22 years later in recovery, I simply can't not return the cart. It doesn't matter how bad the weather or how far away I parked the car. I have developed a habit of returning that cart. And that was a principle of attraction that this guy showed me. And a corollary to all of this, and this is what's so fundamentally valuable about it, is building self-esteem. If you want to improve your self-esteem, and who doesn't, right? All of us have this committee in our head that's telling us a lot of negative things. Not only are we judging others, but we're judging ourselves constantly. If you want to improve upon that, if you want to increase your self-esteem, then do esteemable things. A really good example is just returning that grocery cart. Another example, I know this is going to sound silly, but I used to play basketball, and whenever I had a piece of trash, I'd roll it up into a ball and shoot it into the trash can. A lot of people do that. And before, when I missed. I didn't worry about it. It just sort of sat there. Now I can't leave the trash, whether it's just an innocuous piece of paper or a bubble gum wrapper, sitting outside the trash can. I've got to walk over and put it in the trash. So let's remember both of these principles. If you want to improve your self-esteem, do esteemable things. And also remember that the principle of attraction, not persuasion, is usually so much more effective in influencing people's lives. Thanks for listening to my thoughts for the day.